Most parents have absolutely no idea that their baby might be a genius. And honestly, how would they know? We picture a gifted baby as one who talks early, walks early, does everything first. But child development specialists say the real signs of an extraordinarily gifted baby have nothing to do with any of that. In fact, most of the time they look like the complete opposite of intelligence. Here is a countdown of 10 quiet signs your baby may be exceptionally bright. Starting at sign 10, they react strongly to new places and new faces. Take a gifted baby somewhere new and watch what happens. Their whole system lights up. New sounds, new spaces, new people. They don't just notice, they absorb. It can look like fussiness or overstimulation. But researchers suggest these babies simply have a lower sensory threshold, meaning their brains are collecting and processing far more information from the environment than a typical infant. They aren't overwhelmed. They are downloading. Sign 9. They are unusually alert from the moment they're born. Nurses and parents sometimes describe certain newborns as having a different quality of awareness from the very first hours of life. Eyes wide open, scanning the room, taking everything in. Most babies ease slowly into wakefulness. These babies arrive ready. Scientists believe this early alertness reflects a more rapidly developing cortex, the part of the brain responsible for thinking, awareness, and attention. It doesn't look remarkable. It just looks like a very, very awake baby. Sign 8. They seem to study people, not just look at them. There is a difference between a baby who responds to a smile and a baby who watches, really watches. Gifted infants tend to observe the people around them, tracking expressions, noticing emotional shifts, studying how people interact with each other. Psychologists believe this early people watching reflects the beginning formation of something called theory of mind, the ability to understand that other people have their own thoughts, feelings, and intentions. That quiet, serious little face isn't zoning out. It is building a map of the human world. Sign 7. They show cause and effect curiosity early. Drop something in front of a gifted baby, and they don't just watch it fall. They look for where it went. Then they drop it again. Then again. On purpose. What looks like a baby making a mess is actually a baby running a scientific experiment, testing a theory, observing outcomes, repeating for confirmation. This early curiosity about cause and effect is considered a foundational sign of analytical thinking by child development researchers. Sign 6. They recognize familiar faces and voices ahead of schedule. It typically takes newborns several weeks to reliably tell their mother's face apart from a stranger's. Babies showing early signs of high intelligence often demonstrate this recognition noticeably earlier. This reflects accelerated development in the brain's face recognition and memory systems. The neural networks responsible for identity and social bonding coming online faster than expected. Your baby isn't just seeing you, they are already knowing you. Here is something worth sitting with for a moment. How often do we misread these signs? The baby who stares too long gets called distant. The baby who won't settle gets called difficult. The baby who fusses in new places gets labeled anxious. But what if the label is wrong? What if what looks like a challenge is simply a mind operating at a speed we haven't caught up to yet? Sign 5. They imitate expressions earlier and more accurately. Imitation is how infant brains learn. But gifted babies tend to begin mirroring facial expressions and gestures earlier than typical, and with striking accuracy. This early and precise mirroring reflects rapid development of the brain's neural mirroring systems. The brain is building its understanding of the world by copying it in fine detail. If your baby has been mimicking your facial expressions almost from birth, that is not just adorable. That is accelerated cognitive and social development happening right in front of you. Sign 4. They have irregular or difficult sleep patterns. Many families raising intellectually gifted children report that from a very early age, their baby were hard to settle and difficult to get to sleep. Some researchers suggest this is because a highly active, rapidly developing brain simply takes longer to power down. The same neural systems responsible for learning, processing, and problem solving don't have an easy off switch. If your baby fights sleep, it may not be a problem at all. It may be a brain that is simply too busy to stop. Sign 3. They are highly sensitive to emotional tone. Long before a gifted baby understands a single word, they understand feeling. They pick up on tension in a room. They respond to warmth and stress in a caregiver's voice. They sense when something is off, even when nothing visible has changed. This reflects early and rapid development of the brain's social systems. It often looks like a fussy or overly sensitive baby. What it actually is a brain finally tuning itself to the emotional world it was born into. Sign 2. They get bored faster than other babies. Surely a gifted baby would stay engaged longer, right? Actually, the opposite is true. Gifted babies tend to lose interest in toys and stimulation more quickly than average, not because they are uninterested, but because their brains process and file new information at a faster rate. Once the brain has understood something, it is ready to move on. Child psychologists call this rapid habituation and consider it one of the earliest measurable signs of high infant intelligence. That restless, hard to entertain baby may simply be a mind that is always several steps ahead. Sign 1. They hold their gaze longer than other babies. This is the number one sign, and the one that looks like nothing at all. While most babies glance and move on, a gifted infant will lock onto something and hold it. Still, focused, unmoving. It looks like a baby doing absolutely nothing. But inside, the brain is running deep analysis, searching for patterns, building categories, constructing an understanding of the world piece by piece. That is not spacing out. That is a mind doing some of its most important work. Intelligence in babies doesn't announce itself with a test score. It hides in the quiet moments we often overlook. The baby who won't sleep, the one who stares too long, the one who watches everything with those serious, knowing eyes. Maybe they aren't being difficult. Maybe they are just paying very close attention. If you felt this with your baby, tell me the story in the comments. And if you want to know why babies laugh at things no one else can see, subscribe to Little Giggle Secret, because that's our next mystery.